Greetings everyone, Zannrath here, and welcome back to more Everlasting Summer. Last time was pretty sad. Last time, well, you can go ahead and watch and see what happened last time. It was pretty sad. But let's go ahead and do something more cheerful this time around. So we're going to go for, Lena's Good Path, and I don't remember where we left off with this save file, which was our, I guess, kind of branching point into the good and the bad. So I guess it's after we found Shrek, I think. Just want to make sure I kind of know where we're sitting. Thank you for today. Right, yeah, we just found Shrek. So let's go ahead and fast forward to... Man, I always hate that, like, that heavy metal clanging. Yeah. I hate that. Alright, so we are before strawberries, I think, right? And, yep, strawberries. So obviously we're gonna go with Lena. And I think I've already read this, thing, so I'm gonna go ahead and just fast forward through that. Yep, we fell asleep. And, yep, mutant zombies. Not zombies, mutant, strawberry zombies, maybe, I guess. And of course, we're gonna have to. Actually, I don't think this actually affects. I don't think it actually affects Lena. So, thanks to the girls' help, you can go ahead and fast forward through the rest of this. Wait. Oh, yeah, right. Okay, library for flower. I was like, I don't remember having to go to the library, but no, for flower, it makes sense. And sorry, Alyssa, your thing doesn't really matter right now. Infirmary for the beer. But you guys are sick of this now, huh? Same stuff over and over, more or less. But some new stuff should be coming up soon. What is the next choice we're gonna make? It's probably gonna be at the hike, right? Where we have to talk to, or we're gonna see what's going on with Alyssa and Lena. And of course, we know what's going on. They're arguing about, I guess, who likes who, like whether I like Alyssa or not. Yep, we're gonna find out what they're arguing about. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna go the same, right? Because that's not gonna change. He's dropping. Saw everything. Pretty sure it's the same, so let's go ahead and just fast forward through that. Real quick. Hint of anger in her tones. Convince me, yeah, it's probably the same. Let's go. Speed it up. Yep, her true identity is hidden behind that, so we're gonna go and not look at her behind this tree. And got Lena and snarky remarks. Yep, and we got electronic there. What am I doing? I don't think this really matters. Or we're just gonna look for... You know what, let's just skip to the end. We know where he is at, right? Quite obvious. Yep. So let's go ahead and fast forward through that. Pretty sure there really isn't gonna be anything different up until the last choice that we make, right? She's missing. Xenia. Then she gets mad because we asked her about Shrek. Playing badminton again. Look at those stars. And forgot why she's crying, but... Yep. Alright. Oh! Yes, stop just right. Okay, I wanted to stop where she punched Alyssa because, I don't know, I just... For some reason, this graphic, this image, just amuses me somewhat. Anyways, so we have to help Alyssa. That's what we need to do. What are you doing? I ran over to the fallen girl and tried to figure out if she was alive at all. Are you completely out of your mind if you want me to leave? I'm pretty sure this is exactly the same stuff as before, so... Don't understand anything. Tears welled up, flowing down her face, flipping the square. It seemed to me that I could hear Lena sobbing while I was bringing Alyssa around. Finally, she came back to consciousness. You're alive. Are you okay? Her ma, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the same. I told you about her. Well, that doesn't matter now. I have to go to the infirmary. It's too late. Yeah. Is it really going to be, like, the same? What should I do? Fatigue. I had to go sleep. Yeah. Wow, that's actually all the same. Okay, so I'm guessing we're going to still wake up at 5. And then it's going to be creepy because she's like, yeah, I told you. I told him not to wake you up, and you're going to stay with me here forever. Wake up. Yep, I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Wait, hold on. He did say I woke up at 5, right? It's 5 p.m. Yep. Pulled on the doorknob. It's locked. It's not locked, right? It's not locked. That's odd. No one was outside. Let's go ahead and just fast forward a little bit. Wait, why is the screen shaking? I don't remember that. Oh yeah, because it's the absolutely wrong part. That looks all the same. It looks all the same. Right, we went back to her place to eat biscuits or something like that. Various circumstances, I remember that part. What happened? What happened? Why did it go black? Oh, we kissed, right? We kissed, and then now we're gonna do it. Yep. Fast forward a little bit. So, this is probably where it should change if I did it right, and we're actually going for the good ending now. Manic depressive, remember that. A few hours ago, shivers up my spine, I remember that too. And I was no desire to wake Lena up. It was an unspeakable pleasure just watching how she sleeps. I feel like this is slightly different. I don't remember reading that now. So let's go ahead and would have done exactly the same thing. Yep. I remember reading that. Smiled widely, sat down next to her on her bed. Yep. Okay, so that was basically, yep, true person. I heard a legend that some ancient civilization had a custom. Before getting married, a woman watches her fiancé sleeping for 3 nights. I haven't heard of that. And then she decided whether to marry him or not. Bearing that in mind, I would confidently say that Lena's face showed nothing but goodness, kindness, and childlike naivety. So, does that mean you want to marry her? I guess it's only 1 night, right? Or not even 1 night. It's like a couple minutes into watching her sleep. Could this really be the girl that knocked Alyssa out yesterday? That was pretty funny. Well, whatever it may be, everything's already happened. And I've already seen Lena like that. The humility for the first few days, the hysterics back there on the island, the rage at the square yesterday, her passion today. Ooh, I guess Lena's a passionate lover. How can one single human cope with so many opposing personality traits? Yeah, she's so I guess this is where she starts to reveal a little bit more about herself, and all these pieces kind of come together, maybe. Might it be the case that she really has double, triple, even quadruple split personality? Well, like I mentioned, I think it was last episode, maybe 2 episodes ago. I don't remember. Actually, I didn't go look up that article that I was talking about how it claimed that split personality disorder has only ever appeared in North America. And I mean, like I said last time, that's a pretty wild claim to make. So, hey, I don't know how much time I spent just watching Lena sleeping. That's actually kind of creepy now that I think about it, isn't it? I don't know. I've watched my friends sleep before, not like intently, but like they were napping, and then I like look over, and then I would like do stuff to them while he slept. Although that sounds really creepy, it was more like, I don't know, I would like splash water on their face. I was mean when I did that when I was young. I was a mean person. It might have been a couple of minutes, or it might have been a couple of hours. Finally, she awakened. Good morning. Oh, actually, another thing. When my friends sleep in class, I take pictures of them, and that's actually pretty creepy. But yeah, I take pictures of my friends when they fall asleep in class, and then I wake them up with like, here, look, this is what you were doing. And they're like, oh god, that's creepy, man. I'm like, I know. Good morning. Lena smiled tenderly. Come here. She rose and hugged me. I didn't resist and plopped down on the bed. You're so wonderful, she whispered in my ear, kissing my neck. Oh man, looks like she wants to go for round two. You too. But my voice hesitated. Want to do it again? Hey, look at that. Oh man. Man. She asked playfully. Hold on. I mean, it's been... How long did he say it was? Like 4 hours or something? 3 or 4 hours or a few hours? I think that's long enough for male refractory time. Is it called refractory? I don't remember. It's like it's something similar to that. Anyways, I moved her away. What did I say? I moved her away gently. You know, all this is anything but simple. When we just met, you seemed to be one person, then you seemed to be another, and today, now I can't understand at all who you really are. And yet again, what you did to Alyssa? Her again? Oh, I feel like I should stop mentioning that. Stop mentioning Alyssa. Lena covered up with a blanket and turned away. Did you like what we did? Want to do it with her? Want to do it with her now? No, I won't hold you back. Come on, compare us. I'll leave you her address. You can tell me who is better, or we can have a threesome. Oh my god. This is supposed to be the good ending? Lena's super crazy. She sounded like she wasn't talking about me or her. Like she was talking about complete strangers. Man, wouldn't that be a super awkward conversation? It's like, compare us and how we pleasure you, Semyon. Alright, we'll do. Oh, there you go again. I sighed. Throughout the day, you should have realized that the last person I would think about now would be Alyssa. Okay, you're right then. Well, I guess at least she's easy to convince, I suppose. She turned to me, smiled, and hugged me tightly. Hold on. I still have to understand. Why? I can't just simply... And yes, I do care. That's why I really need to know who you really are. I am just me, she answered in the same languid voice. My voice started to break from all these emotions. I have to calm down somehow. I jumped to my feet and moved across to the opposite bed. Okay, I was gonna say, like, she's gonna be like, oh, do you want to do it on Miku's bed now? Fine. Lena said disappointedly and started to get dressed. It's okay, you were already dressed. At least on my screen. I'm not asking for much. Just a few answers to a few questions. Later, it's time to depart. Oh. She interrupted me impassively. What? Where are we going? What do you mean where? Back to town, of course. But you told me... Well, I might have withheld something. Oh, man. Lena, you're not making a good case for yourself. In fact, I persuaded Olga Dmitrievna that we still had some extremely urgent matters here and will come later. How will we get to town then? By bus, of course. There are no buses here, I grinned. What do you mean no buses? Of course there are. Route 410. I don't know whether I should believe it or not. The situation seemed to be going out of control, but I wouldn't argue. Okay. I managed cautiously. Come on. Get packed. Meet me at the square in 10 minutes. Okay. Last time I don't think... Did she say 10 minutes last time? She just told me to meet at the square, right? So... I gave up asking and left town. I'm just saying... Or left the cabin. I'm just saying that, you know... Giving a time frame makes it, you know... A lot more... Let's just say it's more likely she isn't going to do certain things. Wow, God. Frankly speaking, I had almost nothing to pack. I just tossed my... Yeah, I remember reading that. We've read that plenty of times. There she is. All right, nice. Lena was already waiting for me there with a gym bag on her shoulder. You don't seem to carry a lot of baggage. It's just enough. Is that a metaphor? Like, is she actually carrying a lot of baggage? Like, emotional baggage or something like that? Yeah, she smiled. Let me carry it. Oh, how nice. Please do. Although her bag seemed almost weightless, a bit of chivalry never hurt anyone. We were walking, and Lena was constantly telling jokes, anecdotes, funny stories, and never stopped laughing. Now I'd really lost touch with the person next to me. Is she the one I met a week ago, or is she the one I saw for the first time this morning? When we reached the bus stop, I took out my mobile phone and checked the time. Surprisingly, there was still some power left. It was almost 11 p.m. isn't it a bit late for buses? Weren't you, like, in Slavia's route? Weren't you talking about how there was a bus at, like, midnight? It was the 410, too. Oh, what is that? Asked Lena curiously. Oh, just a toy. Take it, it's a gift. Hey, look at that. Wait, who do we give our phone to in the original ending? Like, Semyon's ending. Was it Lena? I don't remember. Thank you. She smiled and took the phone. What can you play on it? Snake, right? You'll work it out yourself later. It's not that hard. Anyway, a mobile phone is totally useless here. We waited for about half an hour, and Lena just kept talking and talking. Okay, I'm gonna say... I don't think this is actually gonna happen, but I'm gonna say that we get on the bus, we fall asleep, and obviously, we end up back in our apartment, and we look at our mobile phone, and it's going to have, like, either Lena's number or, like, pictures of her. Or no, I'm going to say it's going to be Lena's number, and she's going to call, and be like, hey, you want to meet up? And I'm like, oh, okay, and then roll credits. Well, I must admit that I found her stories amusing, and I felt comfortable with her, but what about the bus? So what about... I didn't finish the sentence as I saw the glimmer of headlights in the distance. Ah, here it is, Lena exclaimed enthusiastically. The bus was slowly carrying us away from the Sovionok pioneer camp. I just wanted to believe that we'd never ever go back. The darkness beyond the window prevented us from seeing the road, the woods, or the fields. Actually, it might be the case that they're all long gone and we're flying through the void towards the unknown. Anyway, I couldn't care less for the surroundings. I just kept listening to Lena. Perhaps she had said more words today than she had throughout her past life. Yeah, I know, right? That's what it sounds like. I interrupted her at last. I still don't understand. What exactly? She smiled. How come you could be so hesitant, so humble at first, unable to string two words together, and then, like this? Is it that important? Yes, for me it is. I mean, I can kind of understand it. I think I'm like that too. Like, I'm very reserved when I don't know someone, like meeting someone for the first time. And when I get to know people, like, I don't know, I can just talk for, I don't know, I feel like I talk too much sometimes. Depends on the people I'm around, but among some friends, I feel like I talk too much. Yeah. Well, she took a deep breath before answering. You see, I've always been the way you saw me the first time we met. I was like that in public. I wasn't able to live as I wanted since childhood, so I put on a mask. Wait, let me read that again. I was like that in public. Okay, so that's not as revealing as I thought. Put on a mask, yep. She went silent. Although, let's not go too deep into that. Hey, we went pretty deep last time. Not last time, we went pretty deep earlier, if you get what I mean. So let's get deep on this too. Lena laughed and cuddled my arm, pressing her body tightly against me. Come on, I want to see more backstory. Okay, I get it. It was probably very hard for her to discuss it, indeed. Yep, I can understand that. Anyway, I got a lot, even from such a short explanation. But still, can I be sure you won't turn into that one again? You won't retreat into your shell, you won't surrender to your anger and rage? That depends on you. Oh yeah, I know, given the last ending. Lena smiled slyly. It was just now that I realized that I'm playing a high-stakes game. Oh boy, Semyon, you are in for a ride, my friend. And not just because, well, a few hours ago. On the one hand, I've spent a week in this obscure world just trying to find some answers. I have nothing to my name and nowhere to return to, damn it. On the other hand, there was this girl who obviously matters so much to me. I almost didn't need to think about whether I had any feelings for Lena. I just wanted to be by her side, look at her, listen to her voice. I liked her the way she was. I assured myself that this is it, the real Lena is in front of me. And now, when these thoughts came back about my past life and my mysterious appearance in the 80s pioneer camp, it's just not the time for such thoughts. I feel good right now being close to her. I don't want to return anywhere. I don't want any answers. I don't want to think about what's going to happen tomorrow. If it's up to me, If it's up to me, then I just want to believe that you'll always be the one, or that you'll always be the way you are now. For this is the way I love you. Then I'll keep being this way as long as we're together. She hugged me even tighter. Man, I kind of feel like... I mean, I know this story is going to end soon, but I don't know. I'm not liking where this relationship is going, where it's like, I'll be this person that you want me to be. I mean, sure, it's not the anger person, it's not the like quiet, reserved person. Like, it's kind of like a good middle ground, but still, I feel like she's gonna put on a mask for this relationship. Oh man, you see what I did there? Oh man, that's nice, Zannrath. I appreciate that. Thank you for the compliment, Zannrath. All right, she hugged me even tighter. I don't know how long we've been on the road, but Lena's chatter gradually started to quiet down. She put her head on my shoulder, but was still telling me a story about her cat, getting into the sleeping medicine, getting dizzy, and wreaking havoc. Man. I slowly started to doze off, but still, why did you hit Alyssa? Are we still on this? Man, I feel like this is gonna, like, the more you I mean, sure, I know you just kind of want to press on and know about it, but I feel like we're gonna get stabbed. Not really, but, you know, getting there. She looked at me closely with a serious expression on her face. I always hated that bitch. Oh, Lena. Okay, everything's peachy. I love you now. Not because I hate Alyssa, more just because I just think that's a funny line. I love that coming from Lena. Lena laughed loudly and nuzzled into my shoulder. Oh god. I'm actually wondering if we go down Alyssa's path, if we're gonna be doing the argument thing, like that, if that event is still gonna happen, and I wonder if the bad ending is gonna be Lena comes and like stabs us. I wouldn't doubt. I think that would make a lot of sense as Alyssa's bad ending, although that kind of deprives her of an ending based on her. It's like an ending based on someone else, so that actually might not be the case anyway. Alright, I desperately tried not to fall asleep. It's unknown what's awaiting there after the bus's next turn. It might be a new life waiting for me, or it might be the end of this fairy tale. And I'll be buried in the coffin of the peeling walls and the ceiling of my old apartment. That was poetic, man. But it was a losing battle. Morpheus has summoned legions of monsters under the control of fatigue, exhaustion, desolation, and uncertainty. I had no chance to win the battle against these 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Pretty sure those aren't the 4 horsemen, but sure. I get it. I get what you're doing. And drifted off to sleep. And day ... Alright, so you guys remember my working theory is that for some reason you're going to have Lena's number on my phone, and she's going to call me and ask if I want to hang out. Oh, okay. Wake up. Consciousness slowly returned to me. It's like I'm falling from a cliff so high that clouds are drifting nearby. I guess I'm wrong already. The ground is coming closer, but I'm not afraid that I'll die. My fall slows down, and my body is smoothly immersed into the warm ether. Oh, hey. I liked how you undid a button and took off your neckerchief. Alright. I opened my eyes. You'll sleep through your whole life like that. Lena looked at me seriously. What? We're there already? Why are we on a bench? Where's there? I looked around. A bench, the square agenda. We never left? But how? I was on the bus going to this district center. Why are you looking at me as if you've seen a ghost? But why am I still here? For a second, I felt terrible fear. Will I never get out of this place? We were on the bus together. On the bus? Yesterday. Yesterday? Yes, yesterday. Don't you remember? Lena started thinking. Yesterday. I don't remember anything like that. Maybe you just had a bad dream. Considering that all this has happened already seems like a hallucination. This must be a dream within a dream then. Well, let's take it slowly. I tried to think logically. The session ended yesterday. All pioneers left, but we stayed. And then we took a bus and headed to the district center. Lena surely looked perplexed. Are you kidding me? I'm not kidding anyone. Today's the last day. Wait. So how much time have I spent here? Lena started to count off on her fingers. Looks like 7 days. Not 8? 7 days, definitely 7. Are we getting, like, gaslighted, or whatever it's called? It's a weird term, isn't it? I gave an exhausted sigh and covered my face with my hands. Well, that's another riddle in the long list of the camp's mysteries. Well, okay. Though I have a feeling that we won't manage to leave today either. Is it nighttime? Why? 6th sense. You're acting a bit strange today. I suppose I have my reasons. Want to tell me? I gazed at her attentively. I do. Sure, why not? When I had a real chance to break free from this camp, everything failed. So, what do I have to lose now? Now, where do I start? Start from the beginning. Yes, of course. Well, I was born, studied, married? Well, okay, I haven't gotten married yet. Oh man, you're gonna scare her off, you're already talking about marriage. You still have time. Yes, but, well, in a few words, like, I'm not from this world. From the look she gave me, it was clear she didn't understand me at all. I came here accidentally. Even I don't know how. So, what does your world look like? Lena asked seriously. It's virtually the same, but 20 years ahead of your world. But 20 years ahead of your world. Do you already have spaceflight? Well, if it comes to that, you have it as well. Wait, 80s? Didn't they already have the spaceflight stuff in the 80s? Pretty sure they did. Yeah. However, we haven't made any great achievements in that field yet. Really? I think the US has canceled NASA. Like, we're not even going into space anymore. Sounds interesting. Well, I guess in the scope of what's potentially out there, I guess we really haven't made any achievements in space. I was unable to tell if Lena was taking me seriously or was just pretending to do so. I'm gonna guess the latter. I used to live in a completely different place as well, far away to the north, judging from the landscape in a big city. I've never been to the big cities. Maybe that's for the best. Will you show me your house? It seemed like she was taking this conversation as seriously as I was. Well, I'm not sure it exists in this world. Oh, come on. Lena pouted. Well, sure I will. So, how do you get there? Or get here? One evening, I took a bus, Route 410, and I woke up here. I don't know anything more than that. The 410 route, that's the one that stops just outside the camp. Yes, but my 410 travels to another place and time. Are you planning to return? Lena said. I noticed a note of unhappiness in her voice. I have no idea how to. And if you knew? You're asking tough questions. What's wrong? Nothing, but... You see, I only just recently started to adjust to being here. The first hours in this camp were such a shock for me that I don't know. It's okay. You still have time to think about it. Time to think? It seems that even if Lena believed me, she considers this whole situation just a typical inconvenience and nothing more. Anyway, it's not up for me, or to me. Possibly even if I do want to stay. You see, the one who brought me here can take me back as well. I believe that any event in a person's life has a reason. Therefore, you are here for some reason. Maybe. And if you haven't returned, you must be needed here. Oh, that's an interesting thought. Well, I can't rule out that interpretation. Hey, time to pack your stuff. Oh, Olga. The camp leader's voice sounded from afar. Hear that? I don't have much to pack, but I do. So, meet you near the bus. I thought you only had like a gym bag full of stuff. Would you like me to help? Comrade. Thanks, but there's no need. Lena smiled and ran off towards her cabin. I remained sitting on the bench, trying to cope with the shock. My thoughts were still in chaos, one theory replacing another. On one hand, me being unable to get out of this camp isn't all that odd compared to me finding myself here in the first place. But, what now? What am I supposed to do? Is there any chance that I can leave camp if I try again? Anyway, what's the point in being nervous? By now, I know perfectly well that absolutely nothing is up to me. Maybe I just have to sit back and enjoy the ride. I couldn't help smiling. Especially now when I have additional reason not to be in any hurry to leave. And that reason is Lena. Maybe she's right, and I'm here for some reason. In the end, even if I can narrow down the possible explanation for my situation to a reasonable minimum, there would still be 1,001. And if I keep exhausting myself analyzing them, I'll just go mad. Maybe it's time I make a choice. Maybe this world's not so bad after all, especially since, for the first time in a long time, I have something to live for. It's still a vague something, but still I have it. It exists. And now I have the power not to simply hold on, but to develop it into something bigger. With such thoughts, I stood up and started walking to Olga Dmitryevna's cabin in order to pack my humble belongings and leave the Sovionok pioneer camp forever. One may think it's strange, and that's exactly how it seemed to me. But eventually we reached the district center. I eventually got tired in the bus and fell asleep. When I woke up, I ran up and down the aisles of the bus, gasping for air, but I soon realized that this long week is over. At last, I managed to break free from the camp. All the time I spent there seemed like so much longer than 7 days, and now everything is over. Soon after that, events moved with frightening speed. No time left for self-analysis or seeking answers. Moreover, from time to time, I completely forgot about the camp. Like anyone who found themselves in a completely strange environment, I was completely lost. I had no papers, not even a simple birth certificate, and no skills to earn a living. Professions such as computer specialist or call center operator were not in demand. Lena returned to her normal life. She had to graduate from school and get ready to enter university. The pioneer camp was in the south of the USSR, just as I'd assumed. Lena lived in a town with a population of about 100,000. It was easy to get there by bus from the district center. There was nothing special about the town. One big factory, rows of five-story houses. Rows of five-story houses? If your house is 5 stories, that's pretty crazy. Unless you mean like apartments or something like that, or condos, or I don't know what they're called. Wooden huts on the outskirts, a grocery store that closed at 7 p.m., and a supermarket. A true Eden for a shopaholic. With choices including rubber winter shoes, women's sheepskin coats, and men's musquash hats. Before, I would already be trying to run away from a place like this, but now it was my home. Cases of starvation were rare in the 20th century. In 20th century Europe, I managed to find a job. I was employed as a turner's assistant in a factory and was also given a room in a hostel. That's kind of weird, because aren't you still living, like, don't you have all your stuff still in that other apartment? So one, don't you need to go get that? And two, like, aren't you still paying rent? Or like, I don't know, I guess you could just like call and let them know, but then you have to like move your stuff still. I don't know. Kind of living in a hostel kind of sounds like it's gonna suck. Over time, this initially difficult and strange job started to bring a certain satisfaction. Partially, of course, that came from having the ability to buy food. Time passed and I climbed up a career ladder, becoming the head of the whole shift. I'm actually not what is a turner. I'm not sure what that is. I know a lot of people have the last name Turner, probably because their family were Turners at some point, but my colleagues were amazed at my talent and persistence, and so was I. Then I graduated from school, and I spent several nights with a calculator, designing diagrams of expenses and incomes, and at last made up my mind to propose to Lena. Oh, hey, look at that. So you're gonna marry a... Wait, how old is he? He can't be much more than like, I don't know, say like 22, because he was still in university when the story started, right? So I guess it's not too much of an age gap. Not too bad. I don't remember now if it took a lot of time for her to think, if she suggested we sign a marriage contract, or if she protested because of my lack of a dowry. I thought women came with dowries, and then I can't remember what the male version is called, but I'm pretty sure dowry is specific to females. and then the male one is... Although not many cultures, I don't think, have a... Actually, no. Wait, is that right? No, maybe a dowry is for a woman, because I think most cultures, because the idea is that you're paying essentially for the woman. That's probably not the best word. You're gifting the family because the family is losing the daughter, because the daughter goes and usually lives with the guy's family, and then the male's family is the one who's gaining, like, what do you call it? Descendants? No, that's not the best word. Like, offspring. We'll just say offspring because, you know, it's a male lineage kind of thing, right, in most societies. So if you have offspring, it's of the male's family. So you're losing people when you give a daughter to someone for marriage. So I guess actually maybe dowry that's actually for that situation and the male version. Never mind. Anyway, sorry. That aside, but in short time, both of us moved into a communal apartment room near the factory that cost 2/3 of my salary. Damn, dude. 2/3 of your salary is rent. Wow. And she's going through school. Is college in Russia like free? I know some countries have that, but here in the US you have to pay for your own college. Or you have your parents pay for it. Or if you don't have if you have enough financial need, the government or taxpayers will pay for it. Thanks to free Soviet education. Oh, there you go. That answers my question. For everyone. Or maybe thanks to my wife's persistence. Oh, so he's already talking in like they're already married. Oh, that's nice. Eventually, I became a part-time student at the local polytechnic university. Good for you, man. Good for you. Go back to school. At first, I protested, saying that a fair proletarian had no need to act like the lousy intellectuals. Oh, yeah. But weren't you already in college, like earlier? But then I came to the conclusion that a diploma would make my life easier. Yeah, you could probably make more money and not have 2/3 of it go to rent. It wasn't difficult to study thanks to my knowledge from my last attempt at receiving higher education. There you go. Time passed and the country started to change. Of course, I knew it would happen, but still, the changes came out of the blue. You can compare it to being caught in an avalanche in the mountains. You can prepare all you like, but it will still bury you anyway. The factory was privatized and then closed down. Man, capitalism. Moonlighting as a private driver in the Kopieka, rattle trap I inherited from my father-in-law was not really a profitable business. It's a Russian car, VAZ 2101, very cheap and old. I was even ready to apply for a camp leader position in Sovionok when Lena's distant relative died and left us a one-room apartment somewhere in central Russia. Man, I kind of feel like we kind of rushed into this marriage, and we didn't think about he said he sat down and did the calculations, but still, dude, I don't know. Even if you're all for marriage and all that stuff, I understand, but if you don't think you can afford to get married, I don't know if you really should. I don't know, that's just me. After a family council, we decided to move. We greeted the early 90s. Oh, so he didn't actually go back to his time. So that's right. So he doesn't actually have that apartment there. Okay, that's interesting. Because with Slavia, he actually went back to his time. But with Lena, he's actually staying in the 80s. Oh, wow. We greeted the early 90s in a cramped kitchen in a watching Swan Lake. It is a low-cost concrete paneled 3 to 5 storied building developed in USSR during the reign of Nikita Khrushchev. Yeah, again, sorry. Thanks to random side jobs, I saved up some money and we decided to move to a bigger city, and of course, I chose my birthplace. We decided to sell the flat and use the money to invest in business. For some time, we lived in luxury. For some time, we lived in luxury, buying mink fur coats and expensive foreign cars, dining in restaurants, and taking trips to other countries. Like many others during that time, I had the luck to somehow make it big starting from the bottom. Wow, that actually just seems like complete, like, just started at the bottom, now we're here, right? Wow, in that little time it seems, or it just makes it seem like it's in a very short period of time, but we actually don't get a time frame there. My business was construction material retail. It was a profitable market at the time because people made excessive money that they wanted to invest in luxurious homes. Maybe such life could have gone on, but the 90s were called rackish for some reason. After encountering rackets and corruption, I was left with an empty refrigerator, an empty wallet, and the bitter taste of blood in my mouth. Oh, now we're falling on hard times. That was the time I tried to recall my man from the future status. Betting places that were impossible in the Soviet area popped up all over, and I rushed to gamble on everything I knew. However, I faced new disappointments as matches were won by completely different teams. Even the 1994 world champion was in Brazil. Oh, okay. I see what he was doing. When I was just watching football on TV, everything went as it should, but whenever I spent the last of my money to make a bet, even underdogs began phenomenally beating favorites. As well as that, I tried to pursue the career of a political advisor. However, you don't get accepted into a high position like that without special connections or anything that would make people interested. I don't know how long I would have gone through this torment if not for an event which changed everything. Me and Lena had a child. Oh, that's nice. In a hurry, I started to search for any possible way to earn enough to provide for my family. I remember some of my father's old friends, and through them, by pretending to be a distant relative of myself, I gained a place as a junior data analyst in a bank. At the same time, I made a new attempt to obtain my degree, or to be precise, to finish it. Time passed slowly. The money was just enough to fill our stomachs. I almost lived at work for days, trying to find some time for my exams. Lena stayed at home with the baby. That was when I started writing. I remember it as if it were yesterday. It was just after midnight. I was sitting in the kitchen in front of my old worn-out i386. I don't know what that is. Wildly killing monsters in Doom 2. Oh, look, this is a gaming console. I wanted to sleep badly, but computer games... Oh, it's a PC. But computer games, at least, slightly distracted me from the infinity of dull days. When I completed another level, I was suddenly immersed in thoughts about everything I'd gone through in the last few years. Wow, it's only been a couple of years. That's the time frame. That's a lot of stuff that happened in a couple of years. It was all too much for one person. That's when I decided to write down everything that happened to me. I launched the word processor and wrote down about 200 words with a clear intent of continuing it tomorrow. However, I didn't remember it tomorrow, nor even a week later. Oh man. About a month later, Lena, who was typing something on the computer, reminded me of the unfinished book. I reread it and deleted it, terrified. At that moment, I started to doubt if I could ever do it. After all, it was an entire epic novel, and I wasn't even able to string two sentences together. In addition, it's not easy to write about yourself. Creative work put on the back burner for now. I celebrated the arrival of the year 2000 as a certified specialist with department head duties. While moving to another apartment, I found my old i386 among the trash that was to be thrown out, and I remember my intention of writing a book about my life. I laughed. How stupid. However, after some time, I opened my laptop and made a sort of draft of a short story with a young man without a definite occupation or aspirations. He finds himself on a different planet. The style, orthography, and punctuation, as well as the idea itself, were matched well to such a silly plot. I showed the story to my wife. She laughed, but said that it was well written and advised me to continue. About a year later, the drawer designed for holding my literary works was full. I found that very odd because I was spending entire days at work, sometimes even during holidays, and I try to spend all my available free time with my family. However, that's what happened. Around that time, I decided to publish my short stories. As with any other beginner's work, most of mine were rejected, but a couple of them were accepted, including my first work. I was over the moon. Of course, I was paid nothing, of course. But my works will be read, meaning that someone will find them interesting. Time passed, we had a second baby now. Wow. During my spare time, I slowly wrote a novel. No, not about my life or the pioneer camp. I decided not to touch upon those themes ever again. Everything that happened years ago seemed to be the will of God, whose charity should not be tempted. Who can tell what would have happened if I hadn't woke up on the bus near the Sovionok camp gates? A year later, the novel was complete. After I had annoyed almost all known publishers, I managed to reach an agreement with a small company. The editor, an elderly man wearing a ragged tweed jacket and thick spectacles, which almost rubbed against his magnificent gray mustache, told me, "Your level is average, young man. Average, yes, but the idea itself is interesting. Interesting, yes. Well, you need more practice and, more reading, yes." I remembered these words for the rest of my life. I dispensed the copies that were sent to me as part of my royalty agreement among my friends and colleagues. Lena, who read my novel only after it was published, told me that she really liked it. Mostly out of a desire to not upset me, I guess. Time passed, calendar days were unstoppably approaching that day when I was pulled out of my usual world and thrown into this life. Starting from the mysterious pioneer camp and now ending up here. Now I am a successful writer, at least according to the number of copies of books have sold, or number of copies my books have sold. I have a wonderful wife and 2 children. My life has turned 180 degrees. Midnight tonight is the start of something new. Tomorrow is the day that I was awaiting for so many years. What are you thinking about? Wow, that's still going. Oh dang, look at that. We are so old. I opened my eyes and saw Lena. She put a cup of tea on the table near an armchair. Firewood was gently crackling in the fireplace and a snowstorm was roaring outside. I wrapped myself up in a plaid blanket and looked at Lena. Do you know what day it is? Oh, I also realized this is the first time I think I've seen Semyon's eyes. No, what day? Do you remember what I told you back there in camp? No? No wonder. During all these years, I never brought up the topic of my mysterious arrival in this world. Do you remember how I told you that I'm not from this world? Oh, right, so in this world, he wouldn't have gone to college. He was still 17, right? So, okay, never mind. That part of it just suddenly clicked for me, I guess. Lena paused. Well, something like that, yes. So today is the day when, many years ago, I got on the 410 bus and woke up at that pioneer camp. So, it's an anniversary? Lena smiled. Yes, sort of. Is it a sad celebration for you? No, not at all. I remember almost nothing about that time. Maybe that's for the best. I added some firewood to the fire and took the mug from the table. Maybe I'll write a novel. You will read it and remember. Do you think that's a good idea? Lena's expression became serious. Indeed, I once promised myself that I would never write about it. Maybe it's not. After all, everything that happened is just for us. That's exactly what I think. I sighed and looked at the fire. You know, life is like a candle. Hey, look at that. Someone's got a short one, someone's got a long one, and it can burn out at any moment. Then our life is like this fireplace. Yes, perhaps. I looked at her and smiled. I'll sleep for a while longer. Lena kissed me and fixed her gaze on the fire in a dreamy manner. My eyes closed and my whole reality compressed itself down to the crackling of the firewood. I started falling slowly, somewhere far away. No, it was not a dream, more like a warm ether, gently enveloping my entire existence. Is that it? Are we gonna get the credits? Yep, living the dream. Yep. Alright, roll credits, man. Well, that was a little different because it went through this whole, like, I mean, with Slavia, the good ending, all it did was just end at, you know, hey, we went back to our time, and she happened to be there. Whereas this one, it's like, it like gave us the whole life story, which is, I guess, nice. You know, it's kind of like, I guess you can kind of juxtapose what happened with Lena and what happened with Semyon, right? Because Lena was talking about how she's always been this kind of person, and she like had to hide it in public, right? And then Semyon, and then she like completely changed, right? She turned around, she revealed who she truly was, and all that stuff happened, and you know, she got married with Semyon, all that stuff. Whereas Semyon, you know, all his life he was this, like, he didn't hide who he was. He was just, I guess, I don't know, not going anywhere, no ambition, no goals in life, and then he found someone who he can share his life with, just like Lena did, and he was able to change too, and obviously for the better. So it's kind of interesting to see that those two lives in parallel. And then again, like I said, it's kind of interesting to see that we went this far into the future with their life together, whereas with Slavia it was just like, hey, you want to come to my apartment? Okay, sure. So interesting there. Lena, really interesting character. Considering what happened with her bad ending, you know, the whole suicide and then Semyon's suicide too. Yeah, Lena's something. Lena's something. So, next, I believe we're gonna go with Alyssa's route. Yep, she's next on the guide. So, there you go. There's Lena's happy ending, the good ending, living the dream, or whatever that achievement was called. And like I said, next time we'll be heading down Alyssa's route. So, until then, thank you for watching. Bye.